decide to take a genetic test to find out if they